Hello my friends, it's one of them new month things again, isn't it? And I'm late with the channel update again, ain't I? Yep, that happened. So anyway, this is the channel update for September. We're gonna talk about the ending of series, about what's happening next and many other such things, and I'm also going to reveal to you the next survival series, and also ask a very important question about that. But first, I want to update you all on my personal situation, because if you saw my last channel update, you'll know things have been a bit messy. So, last month we started renovating our attic. The idea was that we just put in a proper floor, the insulation and everything was already done, support beams were in place, just put the floor down. Easy. Well, first we discovered that the people who had this house before had no idea how insulation works. So if you've ever been anywhere near it, you'll know that it always comes with big signs saying stuff like, don't step on this, don't put things on it, must not be compressed, that kind of stuff. Well, so of course these people just threw this thing on, put carpets on top of it, and then piled all of their junk on top of that. So the whole thing is just ruined. So we had to remove it, and under that top layer of insulation we found wood chips, which is a thing used back in the day to insulate, but it's not really all that great compared to modern materials. So we spoke to some people who work with this kind of stuff and then decided to replace it all. And since the cold season is coming up, these companies are about to get really busy. So all of a sudden we were in a big hurry. So we threw out all the ruined, horrible insulation, then we had to rent a massive machine, which is basically an enormous vacuum cleaner strapped onto a trailer. It's powered by an engine. This thing was enormously loud and really heavy to work with and made the whole area basically a dust storm. Funny thing is, when we were removing some of the stuff, we also found a bunch of papers with dates, so now we know that this thing was actually from 1941. And also, like, mentions of Stalin and Hitler and things. So you're seeing some video of the whole thing here. I had hoped I'd be able to record this channel update and have it online last Monday instead of Feed the Beast Continuum, because as you've noticed, Feed the Beast Continuum has not happened this week. I'll get back to that. But basically the entire weekend was spent the way you're seeing here, in full protective gear, working our butts off for as many hours of the day as we could possibly run that engine. The funny thing here is that I don't live very far from Jeb, as you might know him. He and his family was out walking like an evening stroll and walked past, so they came to say hi and check what we were doing. So it's always a good time to greet someone while dressed as if you're about to star in a horror movie. Anyway, that was all done last weekend, but we're still in the process of building up the frame for the floor so we can get the new insulation in. This basically has taken all of my time lately, and that has meant that videos have been at a minimum. Of course, we've still done snapshot videos, but that's about all. So let's talk about the first important thing about the channel here. Feed the Beast Continuum. Over the last months, I've grown increasingly frustrated with it. The level of grind in that pack is agonizing, and while I normally don't mind grinding in games, I feel like this particular grind isn't moving forward much. Add to that the fact that a bunch of things seem to have been changed in really poor ways, and that the quest book is just absolutely awful. Feels to me like the entire mod pack was kinda left in a half-finished state. Before starting this, I was really looking forward to a new 1.12 expert mode mod pack, but Feed the Beast Continuum has really failed to deliver, and it's making me question the future of that pack. If I'd waited a month or two, I would definitely have chosen Project Ozone 3 over Continuum, because that looks like it delivers exactly what it was that I was looking for. So I think Continuum is done on the channel. Viewed numbers aren't that great, and it's getting really frustrating to play. At first I was thinking I'd just replace it with Project Ozone 3 or another mod pack, but then this whole thing happened, and now I'm thinking maybe it would be better to just take a break from modded on the channel to get some more time to do other things, like tutorials and such, get back to my roots a little bit. The second important thing to discuss is the new main survival series. I mentioned before that I had started to record it, and that it was a hardcore series and one of the most difficult things I've ever done in Minecraft, but not more than that. Well, I ran into some issues. So I have, I would say, about 4 hours of recordings, but when I started to work on those, it sadly turned out that the recordings are not all that great. I lost all the sound recording for it. And by that I mean not just my commentary, but also the in-game sound. And so I tried to use the replay mod recordings to recreate some of it, but turns out the replay mod beta is very beta. So the sound is not in sync and some things just bug out entirely. So, for instance, at one point in the series, spoiler alert, I put on a piece of armor. And the armor sound after that just played every tick. So the whole thing just sounded like a machine gun or something. So now I'm at the point where I can either restart and do it all over again, or I can spend an enormous amount of effort trying to restore the sound recordings. Both those options kind of suck. But I've decided I kind of do need to restart it. Which sucks because I really like the start that I got. But this also got me thinking that maybe I should just run the whole series as a stream series instead and just add one more stream to the schedule per week. And so this is where you come in. Basically, right here, this is going to be the reveal of what this series is supposed to be. And I have 3 options that I want you to pick from. First, I'll just redo it, and it will be what it was supposed to be, a traditional main Let's Play series here on the channel. Second, I'll just stream it instead. Normal streams, but with this series 1 time per week. Or third, I'll stream it, but I'd make video compilations of those streams and post those on the main channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin a comment down below with a link to the poll, and I'm also going to put the link in the video description. Make sure you go vote. And to do that, of course, you need to know what this series is supposed to be. Well, I told you it was hardcore, and I told you it was harder than anything I've ever done. My working title is HHH, Triple H, Half-Hearted Hardcore. It's basically a hardcore Minecraft run where the max player health is set to 1. 1 single point of health equals half a heart of health. The idea initially was to use replay mod and then do lots of time lapses and such to get past all of the grindy bits, because I'm going to need to play really carefully and take very few risks, which means that I'm probably going to be grinding a fair bit. In addition to that, I'd publish the replay files so that you can see that I'm not cheating or anything. But streaming it all could also be an option, of course, and that would also make you see that I'm not cheating. Anyway, there's going to be a poll link in the comments and in the video description. Go vote, and feel free to leave me a comment telling me what you think about this idea and what you think I should do. I have one more thing to talk about before we round off this channel update, and that's also in regards to streaming. We're going to try to start easing back into map making streams again, and to begin with, we are going to do that by having another multiplayer run on Chosen, Project Sacrifice. That is going to happen on the stream tomorrow evening, so the Sunday stream this week, starting about, I think, 7 PM European time. I know time zones are hard, so I'll leave a link to a countdown thing for this event so that you can find out what that is in your time zone. Anyway, this will be a run with viewers, so hopefully we'll run about 20 players in total, and as always with viewer games, my supporters have first pick on those spots. So if you want to get a spot, then make sure to support the channel either by joining as a channel supporter on YouTube, by subscribing on Twitch, or by becoming a patron on Patreon, and then make sure to be there when the streams start. So that'll be tomorrow, and we can discuss and set up on Discord. Ideally we run teams of 3 or 4, but that depends on how many players show up. Finally, let me remind you that if you aren't following me on places like Twitch and Twitter and Facebook, you could miss out on some pretty awesome stuff. I've also started posting more on Instagram now, so if you want to see more about the stuff that's going on in my daily life, feel free to follow me there too. But at the very least, make sure to follow me on Twitch, because there are not going to be video reminders for every single stream anymore like I did for a while. So if you don't want to miss streams, go over to twitch.tv/slicedlime and follow me there. And with all of that said, once again, thank you for all of your support, for all the likes, all the views, all the shares, all the comments. I still do read every single comment on the channel, even though I don't have time to answer all of them. And of course, my thanks especially to all of you who do support the channels, all of you supporters out there already. It is really making a huge difference. Again, thank you, and I hope I'll see you in a Chosen run tomorrow. Take care. slicedlime out.